one. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe. You don't believe Dwight Howard is light years better than Patrick Ewing. You don't believe that. I ain't going to speak for you. I'm going to let you answer that. You feel like Dwight Howard is light years better than Patrick Ewing?
No.
This is head and shoulders. It's like not even the same conversation.
No.
Okay.
And
it's not saying in reverse, because people think because I said how dare they say that, it means that Patrick Ewing is light years better than Dwight. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't do that. That's not the hill you want to die on.
Well, apparently it's the hill Gilbert Arenas wants to die on.
25. You left Dwight out. He was better than Patrick Ewing. It's not even close. If you took the names off the stats, you would think this was goddamn Patrick Ewing the way you blow him up. And that's how you know the wrong people are voting.
Shaq even said it.
You got niggas who ain't even in locker rooms. They don't know no scout reports. They don't know nothing, but they're voting on a game they see with their eyes. That's like being on an airplane, stewardess, grading the pilot.
Why?
You here with us serving peanuts, motherfucker. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're talking about. You don't air control. You don't know nothing because the door's closed.
Yeah.
Top 75. You left Dwight out.
Man, these takes. Go back. Let me read what I said, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People. I thought you highlighted it for me so I could give it to the people.
This is Flea in an actual response. He's gonna give you not an AI voice, but the real actual Flea in response to
Man, these takes just get more and more disappointing from guys that actually hooped on a high level. The pandering to the new generation is disgusting, and Gil continues to embarrass himself. This is not innovative. It's embarrassing. There's not a soul on the face of this earth that can explain how a prime Dwight Howard is better than a prime Patrick Ewing. I dare one of you casuals to try. Shaking my damn head.
You heard the man.
Oh, you were telling me my mic was.
I just heard it now.
Crash right now.
I just heard it. I just heard it.
Right now. Oh, now they. Watch this. Watch this. Way better. No.
Yeah, you good now.
Thanks, Flea.
Yo, yeah, you're perfect. Yeah.
I will say this. I told you so. You specifically, Flea. I told you so.
You did.
What am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
What you got for me?
Go back to the Olympic teams.
Okay.
They keep telling me Dwight Howard this, Dwight Howard that. AD this, AD that. David Robinson and Patrick Ewing will look at y'all as food. You telling me that right there, now that I got you here, I'm pulling the Gilbert Arenas on you.
Yeah, go ahead.
For him to say Dwight Howard is light years ahead, it's like, do you understand that Dwight Howard got to go actually try to score on him? And Patrick Ewing might laugh at him. The only thing he got is alley-oops, and that's it. Because once they're down court.
But see, that's a skill. Like, I know Dwight's jump hook left or right was garbage. Dwight came down here and spent $100,000 to work with Dream, right? Because just Dwight wasn't offensively gifted in terms of moves. But what I'm talking about is a skill. Rim running and being a lob threat is a skill, bro. It's a skill. Throw it at the rim and get the fuck out the way.
He got that over Ewing, right?
Like, that lob threat is
a threat.
It creates so much. You have to account for where he is at all times. Because Jameer was doing like this, not even looking. Turkoglu was doing like this and wasn't even looking. Rashard Lewis was camping out in the corner because he knew he would get wide open threes all game long because they had to find him when he was roaming that paint. So it's a skill.
Not saying it's not. That is his skill on offense. But you are limited. So we did this with Draymond. Hey, Draymond, where do you think you would land in that 2000s power forward list? Hey, Dwight Howard, where do you think you would land in the 90s centers list? You're going to be a lob threat, defensive player of the year. I don't even know if you're truly fundamentally sound on defense. David Robinson and Patrick Ewing might feast on you, pump faking you. You didn't guard nobody like that. We got to keep this 1,000. Dwight Howard.
He rim protected, right? Probably one of the best rim protectors we've ever seen in terms of if you get around that paint, Dwight is sending your shit out of bounds.
Them Georgetown centers are putting him on the block.
Deep. Patrick.
Mutombo might score on you. And his bum ass on offense.
And that's why I felt like it was like blatant disrespect. Gil is amazed by how athletic Dwight was. And to be quite honest with you, prime, and we like go find a 50-year-old, 50 and up. Prime David Robinson would give Dwight Howard a run for his money in terms of athleticism. Forget game, because David usurps Dwight in terms of game. But
in terms of skill, in terms of the skill that they talk about.
Right. Like athleticism, because that's what blows everybody away about Dwight. Man, David Robinson was right there. I
didn't see Dwight Howard run down full court after a steal, dodging Mike. I didn't see Dwight do all that, man. Out of high school, he didn't have the fundamentals. You could pump fake Dwight Howard out of position. He was a great defender. Do not get me wrong.
He wasn't disciplined early.
He's smacking stuff out of bounds. Yeah, it's all fun. It's not fun in games, bro. These centers were not playing with you. That's the thing to me that killed me. Like that's why you're saying light years ahead. Wait a minute. Ewing was skilled.
One of the first bigs to stretch it, right? One of them. What did we used to get mad at Patrick Ewing about as Knicks fans? Patrick, stop falling in love with that jump shot. That
black hole.
15-footer.
20 seconds.
He can knock it. He can knock it. But Pat, when you attack the basket, you are David, Dream, Shaq. You are those guys when you attack the rim.
You ain't talking about Rick Smits. But these guys were skilled, bro. What was Dwight Howard? They might feast on you. Like it's, and you didn't play in an era that was dominated by skilled centers. So if you talk, they keep talking about skills, please. And this is perfect. Oh my God. They keep talking about lack of skills. Y'all didn't have skills. Y'all didn't have skills. Y'all big man didn't have the skills. You keep talking about Joker because okay, great. Nobody could pass like that, shoot like that, and run an offense like that ever in history that consistently. Nobody did it. But if we're talking about this super dominant Dwight Howard athlete, they will feast on him, bro. Robert Parrish might feast on him in the 80s.
Bro, think about this. We just talked about Mark Price, right? Brad Daugherty is a #1 pick and was damn good. Not a little bit. Brad was an all-star, perennial all-star level type player. Before Brad had that bad knee injury, got hurt, man, please. Brad Daugherty was one of them ones, man.
That's what they were drafting. They were drafting you, Dwight Howard. They were looking at you in high school, scout you, get you in training to mold you into one of them. That was basic to me, if you want to be real.
The better comparison is this. Dwight Howard and Alonzo Mourning. Same height, because Dwight is not a legit 7-footer, and neither is Zoe.
6'10".
Same heights.
Dwight Howard might be 6'9".
Maybe.
The way he was Kevin Durant towers over a lot of guys, man.
When Dwight was standing next to JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis back when he was with LA, I was like, damn, Dwight damn sure ain't 7 feet. Hell no.
See, that's defensively. That's my argument about Floyd, and you can't take away points from it because it's his era. The Floyd Mayweather in boxing, all I could do is fight what was in front of me for the most part, right? Mm-hmm. But if you were in the 80s, that's the creme de la creme of that weight when you went up to welterweight and all that. Mm-hmm. Alonzo Mourning was battling the creme de la creme, my brother.
Come on, Zoe came in.
He might laugh at you, Dwight.
People forget It was 1-2, right? It was Shaq and Zoe. Zoe went 2. It was Shaq number
92
1.
draft.
Shaq number 1, Zoe 2. But people forget that Zoe came in right behind Shaq. Like he was right there with him rookie year. They came up together. And so that's a gauntlet, bro. That's a gauntlet of bigs, man.
Okay, Alonzo Mourning has to guard different variations of centers.
Different types.
It's finesse type, all of that. You also have to try to score on those kind of centers. Dwight Howard couldn't even dominate offensively, really. All you got is the alley-oops. And they used to take you out of games to really get that offense going because they were ahead of their time. They used to take Dwight out of games to get the offense going, if we're being real.
But see, here's the thing, Fabe, and big shout out to my man Simon. I'm not going to take because he was spot on with this because that's my brother. I called him cussing earlier because they disrespected my guy Pat. But he reminded me that, like, in the time of Dwight's ascension, they weren't giving bigs post touches anymore, right? They weren't coming down and saying, hey, we got to play inside out, right? Like, even that team that he came up under that was a finals team in year 5. Everybody remember that. In year 4, Dwight was in the finals. Year 4 or 5. That's big stuff. I know we talking Dwight. That's huge stuff right there. But what I'm saying is the approach to offense was starting to change, right? There's still Zebo, Pau Gasol, a Bynum, all of those guys that still got post touches. Duncan, even the post touch even kind of changed for Duncan once Tony Parker and Ginobili started to ascend, right? So they stopped giving it to Duncan with his back to the basket. Go get it. Like, right, he could do it, but it wasn't what their offense was surrounded in, especially having Tony Parker, fast as lightning, and Manu, who could get any kind of basket he want. What I'm saying is, by that 2010 era, you didn't have a guy throwing it down to the block and saying, we got to get a post touch before anybody else touches the rock. So now that doesn't even incentivize Dwight to work on his game. I remember watching Dwight. My best friend is an Orlando Magic fanatic. And all we used to talk about was Dwight got to work on his offensive game. But then again, this is the same guy who averaged 22 points off of lobs. Just off of lobs and putbacks. He averaged 22. So imagine him having a package, him having an offensive package, right? Imagine that. I always thought Dwight was dominant enough to average 30.
Yeah. Because when you mentioned he went to Hakeem Olajuwon, that's one of the guys I go and did what? When Giannis went there last year, I was like, I don't care. Even though he has proven me wrong. Dwight is one of those guys where I go.
3 weeks into the season, Fabian was like, all right, I was wrong about that. My bad.
A month into it was December, and I called you up. I said, yo, I've never seen him finish at the basket like this. His footwork is amazing. He's not traveling to get a layup. That's crazy. It looks sick. Yeah. I'm sorry, Hakeem Olajuwon. And you should thank Giannis. You should not charge Giannis because you should charge Dwight Howard $1 billion for ruining your name like that. What was that? But come on, man. You went to Dwight. Well, you went to Hakeem Olajuwon for what reason?
Well, Dwight's fluidity, like the fluidity of how he moved, didn't put him in a favorable position to get easy baskets. He was getting, like I said, he was getting lob threats. That's 10 to 15 points a game just off of rolling, and you're bigger and stronger than everybody, right? But then there were times where he got the ball and he had that bullshit left hook or that bullshit right hand hook that was garbage, but he went to it sometimes and it worked, right? I would love to see what was Dwight's career high in free throws attempted per game. Like how many
for a season?
For a season. Not total. I'm talking about per game. Was he getting to the line 10 times a game? I'm trying to remember because he wasn't a great.
Yeah. From 2000, the 07-08 season until 2011-2012, he was averaging in total. Don't fail me now. They're failing me. But 10.9, which is 11. Oh, there it goes. Thank you. he averaged 10.8 rebounds in total, and each season was 10.9, 10.7, 10, 11.7,
talking about free throws,
10.6.
right? Per game.
Free throw attempts per game.
Okay, so that's double digit free throws per game, but he was a dog shit free throw shooter.
Right.
So
where the Shaq comparisons came from.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. For a guy like that, you probably could have averaged 30.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.